podcast character designs done by Demon Artie. Be sure to follow her over on Twitter at ArtieDemon. Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sen.
PCA.
810-454.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. Star Trek Discovery, Season 3, Episode 7, Unification 3? Unification to the third.
Part 3, I know.
This time it's personal.
This time it's the revenge, right?
Overall, everything in this episode, there's some weird stuff, but I kind of like how, Michael Burnham stood up for the Federation, and she's starting to understand that we have to worry about bigger things than the self, right? So, but then there's one line. When we get to it, we'll talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
That ruins the whole episode.
Oh, yeah. That was almost decent episode.
It is a giant middle finger to all the original fans.
Yeah. And even broke one of the biggest Star Trek fans, too.
Online, Trek Bertice, he's a pretty big champion for the new series.
Yeah.
Like, he has his issues, but he gave up.
Yeah.
He's not going to review any new Trek.
Nope.
And his name is Trek Bertice.
Nope.
And he's not going to do it anymore. This episode broke him.
Yeah, it did.
And I think we found the exact moment that broke him.
Yeah.
But it's not until towards the end of the episode. But overall, it's just there's just moments, but then there's things like with Tilly and stuff that are like, I don't know.
It's weird. It's really weird. I mean,
so we open up with Michael Burnham still in that, she got demoted.
Yeah.
So she's still having that like walking around in a daze type thing, and she goes and has sex with Buck. That kind of make myself feel better.
As I'm narrating this scene, you can see I'm clearly gonna have sex with Buck now. That's okay.
It's kind of funny. Because I thought, okay, they're not going to they're taking their clothes off. So he's like living in the cargo bay is like her booty call. Like, I don't know what's he doing there. That's all he does.
He's the courier for the Discovery now. He does little things for
He stops by and, hey, Michael, did you need another delivery? So he's like,
what is he? No, he's the Neelix of the ship, because he knows more about the area now because he's in that time.
Technically, I guess.
I can tell you where all the good parts are at, where the good stuff's at.
So they're laying in bed. They got that's just pillow talk, baby. So they're just talking, and he's like, "So when we're gonna get out of here?" Because he's just saying like, "We're gonna leave.
We're gonna leave.
After you got demoted, you don't feel like you fit in. Let's just get out of here." But then at the same time, she's like, "Well, I want to figure out the burn. They're not gonna be able to do that with his little ship and without the resources of the Federation."
Remember, it took him a year just to get that one black box.
Yeah.
Can you imagine without the help of the Discovery Federation? It'd take you too long. It'd take your whole life to figure this out.
Yeah. So but again, you don't join Federation just for one thing.
No.
So she has all these emotions, but I was like we said from the beginning, it's the better all members of the Federation, even non-members, to make things better for everyone. That's the point of the Federation.
The betterment of every kind, humankind, every alien kind, if you can. So
then we get to Tilly, and she's talking to Michael, and everyone already knows that she got demoted. But then Tilly kind of tells her, "You put me in a real bad spot with Captain Saru." She still calls him Saru. They had the captain part. They don't ever call him Captain Saru.
No.
They just call him Saru.
That's a little too personal for me. Captain.
So she's like,
the Emerald, too.
Yeah, you put me in a horrible position. And you with the captain, with the Emerald, everyone. You should have told me what you were going to do. Well, it's better if I didn't tell you. And then they kind of have that little like, "Thanks a lot, Michael.
Yeah, it's true.
You did a real bang up job there. Thanks so much for our friendship, right?"
I know, right? Did not at least tell me what you were doing.
But she's like, okay, whatever. That's that data you got. We're triangulating things, and these ships, they have microsecond differences. So if everything would happen at once, shouldn't it have all happened at the same exact time?
Yeah.
So they're starting to figure out.
And they were like 1,000 light years apart, so, one of them instantaneous, 3 ships, so they triangulated it, yeah.
So kind of like, that kind of works. Normally, like here on Earth, you can get 3 points, and you can.
But this is 3D space.
Yeah, and there's so much, so we're going to need more data.
She goes, it's you still can't get a point of origin with this, not even close.
Yeah, we would still need lifetimes of searching with just these 3 points of data. But as I was searching through the archives, there was this program. What was it called?
C something?
C13.
13, 19, sorry.
And it's locked information. But apparently the Federation set a whole bunch of probes. And they were collecting data. If they were collecting data at the same time as the burn, we can use that to help find a central point, ground zero for the burn, but we can't get to it. Well, maybe the Admiral will have access. And she's like, the Admiral's not going to tell me anything.
Yeah, he ain't going to tell me anything.
It's going to be such a bad... I'm not his biggest fan right now. But, like, well, you got to at least ask, right? I mean, it's better than nothing.
Like we should have asked the last time, Burnham, when you didn't see going on your own.
So, I don't know how many times I'm going to show this room.
Oh,
There's a room where they walk into the room and it, like, the floor creates as they're walking, and then it makes the rest of the floor.
We've seen it already.
What's the deal with this room? What's its purpose?
It's so stupid. Why? There's no reason for it not to have a floor.
Just have a floor.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Or a walkway.
I could see if like it was a battle station and it transforms into something, but it's just a regular situation.
It's superfluous.
Yeah. What a waste of CGI too.
This is my cool room. It's just like it does this cool thing.
Look at this. I can throw this object up, and then it just makes a floor. I mean, come on, seriously.
What is the point of this room? Anyways, they gave him the data to the Admiral, and he's like, "Well, son of a bitch." If we can, this is very important. Then it's like, well, but it's not enough data. Do you have information about that archive, that program? And I thought, did the Federation make the burn happen? And this would be like the key to like prove it was the Federation.
I was hoping
because he was very standoffish. But he's like, well, because it's not our data. And they're like, what do you mean? Well, here's this planet, Navarre, formerly known as Vulcan. And they're like, what?
What do you mean it's not Vulcan anymore?
Record scratch.
Yeah, Burnham had to look like, what are you talking about?
And Saru was drinking some water.
I know. So,
he did a spit take.
Yeah.
They're like, what? There's no way Vulcan changed their name. He's like, well, after, with Spock, all the work that he did, the Vulcans and Romulans finally unified. And then, they changed the name of their planet so it'd be more a unification name.
Yeah.
So, like, and then of course she's like, he finally, the dream. That was like the dream of dreams,
and
right?
It's kind of nice to see a smile on her face when
yeah.
that Spock got his goal. He achieved his goal. And she goes, she's like, wow, it's amazing.
So, Navarre is now the new Vulcan. God, it's going to be so crazy. Not to think that there's not a Vulcan.
Yeah,
it's just another planet. It makes you feel
and they go, they're not part of the Federation anymore. She goes, what? They left the Federation? She's like...
They go, right, with a lot of stuff that went down, they pulled away. Once the burn happened, that was like...
Yeah.
They just quit. Because they didn't want anything to do with us, and it was just a giant...
Because they thought there was because what happens, they didn't want... Because the lithium crystals are starting to run low. So they had to make a new form of propulsion. So it was kind of like a Stargate thing, basically.
Or Mass Effect.
Mass Effect.
So basically they have like this giant Mass Effect thing. You go, it's like like in the Citadel, you use that to go everywhere in the universe.
Get you within 1,000 light years to wherever you want to go.
So it's like a launching pad, basically. And that's what it...
And they think they caused the burn. So they blame themselves.
And they blame the Federation
for forcing them to do it.
Yeah, because the Romulans didn't want to do it.
No, the Romulans didn't want to do it.
That's what I meant. The Vulcans didn't want to do it, and the Romulans did. And then they felt like we were trying to splinter them, and like, oh, we'll ask them because we know they don't want to do it. So it built animosities, and that's why they broke off.
But it's so funny. Navarre couldn't even be a Federation planet because they have conflict on their own planet. Yeah, they have to solve that first, which is weird to think of that Vulcan, but
so they're like, well, maybe with this new data. They're not going to listen to us, but you're Spock's sister. That will give you like a little bit of weight.
But yeah, and we want to use that.
And then he's like, that's it. We'll use you. And then, Michael Burnham's like, I don't think I'm ready to...
Yeah, exactly. The whole time she wants to find out the burn, but now she doesn't want to do this.
I'll do anything to figure it out.
But that.
No, I don't want to do it.
But not that, though. Just like Meatloaf's song. But I'll do anything but not that. Okay, then what are you talking about?
And I got there and was like, find a damn way.
Yeah, I'm your considered officer. You do what I say.
So then this is the best part of the episode. Because then she started having memories about Spock when they were kids and everything. And then she goes in the archives and then like, there's a personal archive of Jean-Luc Picard. Name
that was the episode where he was a Spock. That's
and
why.
Then he hits the button and then it's Spock. And it's Nimoy. And that always makes me want to cry.
Yeah.
Because he's dead. And it's like, I want him. I want that. More than anything in the world. I would do anything to have Leonard Nimoy
and
here.
They have a cool moment with Spock here, and then
because she watched it and she's crying, I'm crying. It's beautiful because his vision, what he wanted, like everything he says. Go watch the episode. It's a great episode too. It's not going to be done through diplomacy. That's because we are one, and once we bring it together, and it's not because of logic or anything like that. It's because it's the right thing to do.
Exactly.
And it's beautiful. And then she pauses it because she's like, he did it. you know,
Yeah.
and it's Spock. Spock's the man. That's why.
Yeah, he's so cool.
And then like Book's like, yo man, he's like, man, you and your brother are pretty big overachievers. You want to save the universe. He wants to unify freaking people that have been enemies for
yeah,
thousands
it's so
of years.
big. I think for Book, it's so amazing to see people, or at least ideas that are bigger than themselves.
Yeah.
Because he lives in a future where none of
selfish
all
world.
about, you know, the Ryan Circuit and get what we can out of people.
Yeah, how much dilithium can I get off this job?
Yeah.
But he's like seeing like, well, maybe this Federation thing isn't so bad.
Yeah.
Maybe those myths and legends of them being this great, like the White Knights, right?
Yeah, they're bigger than themselves, you know.
So that's kind of cool for him to see that. And then she's like, I don't know how I'm gonna, you know, just represent. Not only am I going as a representation of the Federation, I'm like representing my brother too.
Yep.
And he did all these amazing things. And she's like, even that whole year, because she was here for a year, she didn't want to look it up. Because she was like afraid to see what kind of man he became.
And then she's astonished, like, wow.
Yeah,
he
it's
did
super
great
cool.
things, an ambassador.
Absolutely amazing things.
Yeah.
He died once.
He came back.
But he came back, it was really cool. So she's like, you know, I got to get ready for this. Got to knuckle up because it's going to be, you don't know if they're going to be inviting, you know, if there's going to be standoffish.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, every planet we went to that was a former Federation planet, it's been kind of rocky. It hasn't been so smooth.
Then, this is the most ridiculous thing in the world. We joked about this in the last review. We joked about it.
Yes, we did.
Suru asked Tilly to be his acting first officer, an ensign.
An ensign.
Skipping, commander, lieutenant commander, all those things.
Now, I have a question, all you people in the podcast and in the comments. Who do you think was going to become a first officer first, Tilly or Mariner? Be honest, you would have said Mariner. I guarantee it.
Only she's done all kinds of things.
Exactly.
See, she's just kind of like a mid-level science officer. I honestly thought it was gonna be Stamets.
Stamets made more sense. I could have seen they would have made her like maybe second officer, like bump her to like head of engineering. Or
Yeah,
something
she'll
like that.
take over his position.
job. The only thing I could say for Tilly, at least she seems a little more confident. She's being a little bit more sure of herself and a little bit more saying the right things this season, somewhat, which I like. But that doesn't make you become a first officer.
And then she's like,
and then she's like, I haven't even took the command test yet.
Suru, I love Suru, but this is stupid logic. He's like, whoa, you've been through so much stuff. I think that like usurps the.
But they all have. You can say that about everyone on the ship.
So I don't.
But the one thing though I will say about Suru, she knows he can trust Tilly. Tilly will never do what Michael Burnham did to him.
But she said she would have in the last episode. Remember? I
think
she
he
did the
doesn't
right.
know. But he didn't.
She told him that. Remember? She stopped him.
Well. Yeah, but I think when it comes down to it, she at least would have went to the commit. She would have went to the Emerald.
Then she says that, are you doing this because I'm a good officer or that I'm compliant? Are you kidding me, Tilly? I'm offering you the job of a lifetime. You're going to question me like that?
Think about it. You're going to be on par with people like Will Riker was, okay? Think about that. How crazy is that? I don't know. Maybe because she's compassionate. I'm trying to think of reasons why Suru would do it.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
So they get onto the bridge. Okay, let's go to Navarre. And, we're going to do our best. And when we get there, they haven't had any communications for, what's it, 200 years?
Yeah.
So let's show them what the Federation represents. Okay, good.
And that was a little cool part when Stamets puts his hands into things like, oh, this is easy now.
Yeah, he almost feels like, oh, okay.
I could do this
easier.
much easier. Instead of sticking things into my
Yeah, it was like
body.
a stint.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be like getting like freaking, like thing into your veins and opening it up. I'm pretty sure it didn't feel very good. So they make that jump, and I thought these were mines.
I thought so too.
But they're like,
because I've seen mines in Star Trek, and they look like that. They're kind of boxy looking.
So they get there, they get hailed, and then the lady appears, and she's like, it was weird how Suru didn't say, oh, I'm Captain Suru, the USS Enterprise. He just said, I'm Suru, or Enterprise, I keep saying that, of the Discovery, and he just says, I'm Suru of the Discovery. He didn't call himself Captain. I thought it was weird.
You just say Captain.
No one calls him Captain.
Not only that, you should say he didn't call himself Captain. I'm Captain of the USS Discovery.
Yeah.
That's what he should have said. That's the standard greeting that all Federation officers say.
But she kind of greets them or whatever, and then she's like, I've received your message and your special guest, your passenger, Spock's sister, and she walks out there, and then she gives her, I'm the daughter of Sarek, and all the things like that, and it's a pleasure to meet you. And I've also received your request for information about project whatever.
Was it C-19 or something like that?
And I'm going to have to deny that. And she's like, why? Oh, this is, then the base, all that breakdown, they force us to make this thing, and it's going to cause civil unrest. Here's the thing. Why does everyone have to know?
I know.
Why does anyone have to know?
Yeah.
That'd be like like, just sharing some information with two doctors, and like somehow I figured out about what happened.
I mean, we'll put it quick, even like terms of like our government. It's like if something's top secret, everyone doesn't need to know. That's one of those.
Yeah,
things.
like if we had some intel on something, we shared it with like London, like in England. How would I ever find out?
Yeah, why would I need to know? I wouldn't need to know. It's not need to know. It really isn't.
So I don't understand why this is such an issue.
Oh, it's.
I can understand like some of the other stuff she talks about, like we can't trust you with the information. What if you start that program again?
See, that makes sense.
But like the civil unrest, how would they ever know? Guess what? You don't have. I'll lean in real close. You don't have to tell anyone.
I know, right? And then he goes, well, we know you have like this spore thing. That's how you got here so fast.
Yeah, to evade our sensors. It wasn't to be evasive. It's just because it's quicker.
Yeah.
And why isn't this being studied by every single freaking...
I don't understand that. Federations right now say, okay, right now, once you find out about the burn, come back to the home base, and we're going to discover how you made the spore drive, and we're going to put that in every Federation ship.
And how come they haven't transferred that giant, remember the sphere data?
Yeah.
Are they working on that at Federation headquarters?
That's weird how, like, that AI became a thing 3 episodes ago, and we haven't seen anything about it since. Months ago, it's so weird.
Whatever. So she's super standoffish. She's like, no, you're not getting that data. And they keep trying to implore, we're trying to help, whatever. Yes. That we can't trust the Federation.
She goes, I don't mind talking with Spock's sister, but outside of that,
yeah. If you ask again, I have to see your spore drive in action when you're leaving.
Yeah.
Because you're not welcome here if you ask again. Then, I guess she kind of got pushed into a corner, and then she invokes some ancient. Goes, do you guys still follow the ancient ways? And she's like, yes. Well, then I call something.
It's basically the scientific truth of what the combat side is for Vulcans. Yeah. Basically.
So it's a trial to find the truth.
Yeah.
So it's all facts.
Yep.
And then she looks at her. Then she can't deny it.
No.
Because she graduated
from the Vulcan Academy,
no, not even Bashir, who was a genetically enhanced human,
would get a C.
He'd be a C student. Somehow she just regular human. When she top of her class, it's so stupid. Let's not talk about it.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'm invoking this as someone in, and since she is technically a citizen because she was raised by Sarah, she has the right to do it. But I guess there's grave circumstances. You do this, you're gonna like sully Spock's name or whatever. But it's like, it's weird that
if I have the truth, why does it matter?
Yeah, you have the data.
Yeah.
An inch is an inch is an inch.
And this is Vulcans.
Yeah.
Logic's motion's supposed to be out of it.
But since they've been mingling with Romulans again, I think it's starting to get a little.
But they still follow the old ways, so you had no choice.
So Spock, so not only is this data on the line, it's like Spock's honors on the line, and then she's like, okay, we'll prepare for whatever. And you have like an advocate who's going to come and be like your, I don't know, your representative, like you're not necessarily like your lawyer, but like your buddy, get sit around with you. So they're going to set that up. And Suru's like, what the hell is all this? And she explains what it is. And he's like, you're prepared for this, right?
Yeah,
like,
this is the president I forgot the name of it. Navarre leaves. He goes, you're prepared, right? Because you just evoked this. This is kind of important. We need that information.
So they're going to go meet this tribunal. The three, basically it's you versus 3 people. And you have to convince them of your scientific findings. So they get to the transporter room and they come and they all look like pissed off.
I know, like they're even there.
Yeah, this dude in the middle, like the guy who's running it, he seems like a real son of a bitch.
I know what to say. He looks like an SOB big time.
Yeah, he's just like an asshole. So they're getting ready for this, and she's like, "Oh, you forced me into this corner." Actually, no, you forced me by not wanting to share this information.
I mean, we need the information. What do you want me to do? You were just gonna not give us anything, and we wasted our time coming over here, basically.
So then, like, but then she's like, "Oh, I admire your courage, though." So it's kind of like this weird kind of like...
Because no one can ever be mad at Burnham.
Yeah.
She always has to get this weird little compliment at the end.
So then her advocate shows up, and it's one of those, it's one of the ladies, remember in Picard, the secret sect of badass Vulcans that can kill everyone, and they're better fighters than Klingons?
No, they were Romulans.
Oh, yeah. And they're better than everyone?
See, that makes sense now because they're mixed with Vulcans, so it makes sense. It's a weird kind of... But before, the Romulans would never...
They didn't have religious shit like that.
No, none.
Anyway, her face is covered up and she moves her mask and it's Michael Burnham's mom.
Why would she be in that sect? She's a human. Why? If they left the Federation, why would they have any humans besides her living on
I think she tried to explain it, but I'm just so shocked that she's even there.
Like she crash landed there or something?
Remember, because she was supposed to show... Remember, there was that, meet me on this planet in the future. Yeah. But I guess she got crash landed somewhere and they, took care of her and...
Why would they? She must be the only human on the dang planet, because I guarantee there are no other humans on there. So it's like, why would they?
But remember in Picard, they're like battle nuns. Like, so is she a fighter?
She has a sword.
But here's the thing: Romulans are actually super strong, and
see, that's what I don't like when it's even a male would have a hard time. Being a male that was muscular athlete would have a hard time, let alone
just some old lady.
I know.
So they get the big hugs and everything. So I'm like, okay, now her mom's part of this. Sue was walking with the Madam President, and Sue was doing his best job of like, I hope all of this lets us know that we are here for not for like, we want to diplomatic. We can open up channels. Not saying you're going to join the Federation, but we can have a discourse. We can talk. We can share information, and we don't have to be enemies.
And then she kind of goes, well, the thing is, you've been gone a long time. A lot of things have changed.
And it wasn't just this. That was just the final, nail in the coffin, basically. He's like, well, then tell me what happened.
And then she goes, well, they only stayed, they see the Federation stretched too thin.
Yeah.
And they only served the needs of the well, but not the needs of the few. And then Sue was like, wasn't that you're saying? Didn't you say that before? But we don't believe the old ways anymore like that.
Oh, we probably knew a vision and not having to be stuck to Proverbs. Then he's like, well, then the Federation has changed too. And we do our best learning when you're basically knocked to your knees after great loss.
Yeah.
And you can agree that we have experienced tremendous loss.
This is what gets me so mad. You still have your planet. Earth's not even part of the Federation anymore. They lost their home world. So don't tell me.
Yeah, we're living in the middle of space and floating on ships.
Yeah.
We don't have
like a
planet.
flotilla, basically.
Yeah, just like a little secret base.
Space, yeah.
So go screw yourself.
Exactly.
Come on, you're not the only people who lost. I hate that.
I know, exactly.
So yeah, Michael Burnham and her mommy just having like mommy discussions. You've lived a life. You don't really want to be here, do you, child?
Why does she even know that?
I don't know.
She looks at her. I already know. She says everything.
I see it on your face. This is me rubbing my temples, and I'm thinking, why is everyone telling Michael Burnham to leave the Federation?
It's so weird. Yeah, exactly. Now that wouldn't have made more sense. She's, Mom, I'm having doubts. I don't know if I want to be here anymore. Then she can go in and say, okay, and then talk to her. But how
I can see it on her face.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. What would Giorgio think of her seeing her real mom? Because like Giorgio.
See, that's why Giorgio can't be here. She'd be mad because somehow she sees her as her daughter. And Georgia would have been like, Burnham.
Well, see, but does she have knowledge? Because all she knows of is that her daughter killed Giorgio and that whole, like, when she did the...
Sinjo, yeah.
Yeah, so she's alive. What the hell? Who's this? So it's funny how
she
Giorgio...
walks in, she's like, wait a minute, she's alive. Oh, she's like, dang it.
So I don't even know why Giorgio's not in this episode at all. You would think...
It makes me a little worried that she up to something. It's a little weird.
Maybe she's a medical. Remember, she did have that paralyzing PTSD moment.
Maybe.
So whatever, and the mom's talking to her. Well, maybe you found a new life, and then this isn't your life anymore. Why is everyone pushing her away?
So weird.
Then she explains the three people. The guy who's like from Romulus, the Romulan, he's more open to like the old ways, so like logic, and if it has a logical means, he'll follow it. Then you have the other lady. She's more wishy-washy.
Yeah, she's like, the thing is she's trying to please both sides, the Vulcans and Romulans, so she's like stuck in the middle.
And then you have this Vulcan guy who's just a son of a bitch.
Yeah, he's a pure logic, but he also has an agenda.
But it almost feels like he wants to protect his people, but at the same time, I need to stay in power.
Yeah, of course.
At the same time, I
got to be important.
So super weird. So that's who she's going up against.
And then she goes, I'll use the Vulcan with no logic. And her mom's like, no, that one's going to be the hardest one. Out of the three. Then,
they're like, okay, we're prepared to go and we're going to start this. I guess they're going to do it on the ship. And they prepared like an area for them to do this. I mean, okay, so it's like a standing trolley. No one gets to sit. It's very ceremonial looking.
But you see, but Vulcans do have that. But it almost feels kind of Klingonish too, but Vulcans do have that
fire and everything. Yeah. And there's even like a bell that they hit and they, start the trial. Then, they just introduce themselves and they do all the, the preamble stuff. Then she starts to explain and then the main guy's like, we already received your data and we found it lacking. And she's like, well, let me explain. You don't need to explain. I moved to dismiss. Like, wow. 3 seconds in, he's already like, he doesn't want to
Like, he doesn't even want to be there.
That's so funny. Like, he didn't even, like, want to give her a chance. But then the other two, like, well, come on. We have to at least let her speak. And she's like, I have evidence that the burn did not originate here. And it wasn't your fault. And that information that I need, even if we did, that didn't cause it.
And I think it'd also be a good thing to realize, though, it's not also the Federation's fault either.
Yeah.
See, get that whole thing unraveled.
But he's like, oh, just because of a few microseconds from 3 different ships, he thinks is enough data. We can, that data could have been skewed. It's like, no, we already calculated for lunar, like all the different kind of magnetic things that could have gone wrong. And he just keep like, you think your little science is better than the whole science institute.
Well, but the thing is, then show me then. Let me see the data then.
Yeah, I showed you my data.
Yeah.
And I don't know, you're not lying to me. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, like, this whole time I'm thinking, screw you, buddy.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, I've seen your data, found it lacking. Okay, then you offer me the same.
Yes, I make it, then prove me wrong. That's it.
Yeah, so, I'm going to just trust you? You don't seem to trust me, so why the hell should I trust your data?
Exactly.
Without literally unseen data.
This is so insane. And I have everything out in the open. Here it is.
But, the one, again, the wishy-washy one still being like, we're willing to listen to this, but we still need to think about it. And then the other guy's like, this sounds like a good idea because if we can prove it wasn't our fault, that will actually really unify everyone.
But the guy in the middle thinks it's going to do the opposite.
But here's the thing. The truth's the truth.
Yep.
Right or wrong, up or down, there's no good or evil in truth.
No.
It's just the truth.
But isn't that sad that the Romulan seems to be more like Vulcan and the Vulcan seems to be more Romulan in that way? It's like, really?
But then, like, her mom starts, like...
Well, no, this one have a recess, remember?
No, yeah, but she kind of, like...
A little bit, gets a little...
Oh, is this data for you or for the Federation? She looks at her mom like, what are you doing?
You're my advocate!
But there's a lot to think on. Let's have a recess and let our minds rest a little bit. So, like, convening. And I'm like... Well, Michael Burnham's mom, are you here to help or not? Because then they kind of like retreat to the things, and she even kind of looks over to mom like, huh?
Exactly.
But what?
And then also Sura offers the president of Navarre, say, do you want to have a tour of the ship? He goes, no, I don't want any of that right now.
Oh, that was before.
I know.
That doesn't mean anything. Who cares? Because like this is more important than that.
Yeah.
The pleasantries.
Yeah, so shit, we'll forget all that.
Yeah, so that wasn't anything. She gets he was just trying to be nice. Then we get back to the Tilly plot, which...
It was short, which I liked, but still.
It would have made the episode shorter. It's
an
hour-long episode.
Yeah. She
goes, hey, because Stamets is like telling people what to do, and he's like, Tilly's like, I need to talk to you.
She puts him in the sports chamber.
Because it's silent.
Yeah.
So, and he's like, I need to tell you something. He's like, what's going on? She calls him Saru again. She didn't say Captain Saru. I hate that. Saru asked me to be his first officer. And look at his face. Is like,
that's gonna be the thumbnail of this episode.
Uh-huh. So
it should be anyway.
He's like, really? She's like, yeah. He totally asked me. So that would make you my superior officer, and I'd be taking orders from you.
I like his action. He goes, that would be a little weird and odd. Exactly, it'd be kind of odd.
But then she's like, what would you do if I said yes? And he's like, it's a lot to think about. Like you just telling me that because it's. This whole entire time, you're still... Because she's just an ensign. Yeah. But then, other people like, hey, Stamets, we need information. I was like, I'm busy.
We'll get ready to get the sport drive going again to get out of here.
Yeah, Jeff, you need to leave. Mm-hmm. Then he's like, I'm busy right now. Like, thanks for telling me that. It's freaking making me go crazy. But, and then he's like, Stamets just has that where he furls his eyebrows and he has that look that, I'm contemplating. He always has that.
First, like, I don't know. That's a lot to take in.
Then we get back to the trial and Burnham. This is during the recess. Burnham is talking to her mom and the mom is kind of, what are you even really doing this for? And it's like, are you on my side or not? She's digging deep, Is this information just for you? It's just you don't even know you belong here. And it's like, Mom.
Especially right now, you're my advocate. What are you doing?
So you get me all mixed up. And I need to go back in there and present my best case. And you're getting...
I'm going against 2 Romulans and a Vulcan right now. Are you kidding me? You gotta, be on my side here.
And she's totally... kind of plays out in the end, but it's weird.
Yeah, it's really weird, and we haven't got to the worst of it yet.
So she goes back in there, and of course the wishy-washy one's wishy-washy. The Romulan likes it, and of course the Vulcan's like, F no. Then Michael just basically says, I'm begging you guys, we can figure this out, but we have to do it together. And I know if I have this data, we can triangulate, we can do all these things, and I'm just basically falling on the mercy of the court, basically. Because I already presented my case. Oh, and then, they're going back and forth, and she's like, well, Spock wouldn't have wanted it this way. We'd want to be unified. Invoking your brother's name for an emotional response. Well, yeah.
Kind of. That's what a trial is, though, too.
So it looks like she's going to lose. But then, her mom starts digging in on her.
It's bad.
Is this even for you? How you confided in me? You don't even feel like you belong in the Federation, Mom.
I know she's looking at her like, what are you doing?
See, she doesn't even know. She hasn't been speaking the truth. She's been hiding things.
And she's not speaking the truth now. She goes, she even went and killed, she even got her captain killed in the Central.
Well, she
like,
disobeyed
made
orders
and started a mutiny on the ship.
And not only a few weeks ago, you disobeyed direct orders from another captain. So how are we supposed to trust you or the Federation if this is the way that you act? Mom!
Exactly.
It's like,
and you just got demoted for 48 hours ago.
So what was her mom against her the whole time?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
I was thinking it's almost like to the point, like, is she hiding something? That's what I didn't understand. Why is she doing this to her daughter?
I think it was to break her all the way down to her core. What's in your core? What do you truly believe? Lose all this all the emotion. What's in your heart?
She could have did that without them being there.
I know, but I think God, it's like freaking Queen's Gambit of
I know.
Absolute candor. Remember the episode was called that?
Yeah.
So she's like, yes, those things did happen. And it was like, and she's not truly Vulcan. She was Earth and she's ruled by her emotions. And she's like, yeah, I am. That's what makes me human. But right here, right now, is what we need to worry about. And I am trusting you. I gave you my data. And I'm just asking you to trust me the same way. I didn't have to do that.
And they go, what do you know? The Federation's not going to manipulate it. And
you're open to manipulation. She's like, I am not being manipulated. And it's super crazy. It's like, what alternative evil motives do you think she has?
And I can't say the Federation in the end will deal with it, but I know we're trying to find the truth now, basically, when she gets around.
But, then she's like, you know what?
I like this one.
Yeah, she's almost like, F you guys, I'm going home. She's like, hell, you know what? Even without your data, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to spend the rest of my life discovering this information. I'm going to search planet by planet and star by star, and I'll share it all with you.
And I'll share it with you in the end. I'll go with the Vulcan show you.
I will share it with the Navarre Science Institute. Yeah. Every piece of data I find because I trust you.
Yeah.
And
that made them look so bad.
And I want nothing from you guys. She's like, F you guys. I withdraw. Because they all started fighting. Because the Romulan,
a little before this, she goes, oh yeah, well, I'm going to give them information anyways. And everyone started stuff like, oh crap, we're going to have a Vulcan-Romulan civil war.
He's like, if the Vulcans don't want to do it, I'll do it. Yeah. He's like, no, Spock would want it to be unified. So I withdraw my request. And
I think they might have started a civil war there if she didn't do that.
Because that guy really wants to prove where it came from, because he probably has that guilty conscience too.
Exactly.
But if we can prove that it wasn't their fault, and it just so happened to have to happen at the same time.
The thing is, what it comes down to is the Vulcans on the planet are going to have to be humbled that they were wrong.
Which is fine.
That's just fine. And the Romulans okay with that. Who cares? Who cares about all that? Wrong or right? Just get to the truth. That's all we want. So she rings the gong. Okay, I'm done.
It's over.
Gave up.
But just know this. I trust you still.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, wow, that's actually really powerful of her. And
that was probably the best moment of the episode.
And the original Spock part.
Yeah.
Not anymore. He's so cool. So, it's over. I guess they're not going to get the data. Then, she's sitting in her room, kind of like, oh my God, that was awful. My mom threw me through the damn ringer. She
had a point at the end, but you could have did it without in front of all that.
Now she's speaking the truth, but did you have to rip me asunder?
Yeah.
Did you have to throw me under the bus and back it up and run me over twice?
My goodness. Michael Burnham's like, here's my soul. Ripped to the core. My goodness. I mean, gosh.
Then she's sitting there and she's like, well, thanks, Mom. She's like, oh, but I got you to speak your truth. And there was two audiences there. She's like, what are you talking about? The president was moved by your honesty, by your words, and she's willing to share the data with you. So she superseded the trial because she is the president, and then she has all the data and she gives it to her. I'm like, oh wow, so I guess it did work in the crazy off-world roundabout crazy kind of way.
I could see why it would, but still, I didn't have to go around it. It could have been achieved a different way, I think.
Then they kind of have this really nice moment with mom and daughter, and then she's like, you're going to come with us, right? No, I'm part of that, whatever. Then I didn't even forget what it was called.
The friggin' nun sect.
Yeah, the murder nuns. And she's like, she's going to stay with them, and I can't be attached to you because you're no longer a lost cause.
Yeah, thanks, Mom, for shirking responsibilities
How about you be my mom? I want that to be a responsibility.
But the fact that you went off on this adventure, on this time thing, and you left me here. I never got to have you growing up for the most part. I had to live with Spock and them. And now you don't want to be in my life now?
So bad.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's a terrible message.
So here's the moment I believe broke Trek Pertise. I don't know if he will admit it, but I'm thinking that it did because I flipped off my laptop. I gave it the big double flips. God, I don't even want to say it.
It's terrible.
It's awful because how does she even know? You didn't know Spock. Michael Burnham knew Spock, but you didn't know him.
Nope.
So, everything that you've done, you made him the man that he was.
Oh my
Michael
goodness.
Burnham is responsible for all the greatness that Spock did.
No.
Remember how we said in the future they can no longer break canon? They can because it's all brand new. They found a fucking way to go back.
First time all season.
To kick Gene Roddenberry straight in the nuts.
And where's Nimoy? That's the worst part in Spock.
Oh, he wasn't as great as he was. It was all because Michael made him great. Then I paused it.
And this
I'm
would
like,
have been...
okay, this is how you fix that. I'm like, first that line's like, this is where you go, no, stop talking. I go, if I was writing this, gotta have that stupid line in there because girls are awesome and boys suck. I would have had Michael hug her mom. As much as I believe that I helped my brother, he made me the woman I am today. He helped me as much.
But guess what? That didn't happen.
Nope, she just took the compliment and I'm the best. Why couldn't she say that?
It just kills me. Just to crap all over Spock's legacy.
The lifelong struggle my brother had with being human and Vulcan taught me that being one way isn't the answer. Understanding things from multiple directions. I believe that Spock made me the woman I was today.
I will equate this. That one line was just as bad as the Han Solo movie was for Han Solo.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Just poo-pooed all over his legacy.
He is the number 2 to Luke Skywalker being Captain Kirk, and you just crapped all over it.
So they just took Spock and kicked him straight in the
That was the whole movie. This is just one line. That's the equivalent.
The whole line ruined everything.
Yeah. This was starting to be almost a C episode, and crashed it. Crashed it to a 5.
So they all hug over Spock being a piece of garbage, and it was only because of me. His greatness came from me. I hate that.
Wow. Why say that line? Why say it?
Because girls are awesome and boys suck.
They have to still do that. And I know it broke him. I know it did because I read the whole article.
Yeah, you can look at it. He literally... Remember how James, the angry video name James Rolfe, refused to review the new Ghostbusters movie, the female one, because he just stepped away from it. And he had to do this big old video about it. Trek Bertice basically wrote an op-ed piece about how he's given up on Trek.
Yep.
He refuses to review anything else.
Yep. And he goes, sorry, this new Star Trek is like any sci-fi show now. That's what it is. It's nothing special.
Yeah, that's people. Oh, it's more a thing. Trek was more. Trek was always better than this.
Yep.
As much as we again watch our Mandalorian reviews and how much we love it, Trek was something else.
Yes.
You were supposed to be the chosen one. It was better. It just was better because it was more grounded in reality and science. And it was always the reaching out to the future that look what mankind can achieve when we work together.
Yeah. And there were still problems out there in other alien worlds, but we solved our problems on Earth.
Nope, not anymore.
Nope.
And every great character that came from the past was because of some new character they invented.
Yeah, that's the word. And not just any old character. Spock. That's up there. That's the Holy Trinity. Spock, and Kirk and McCoy when it comes to the original series. You can't touch those characters. And they found a way. Yeah, right there.
Let's stick the little...
It was her. Okay, thank you.
My God, okay. Almost done. Then Tilly's going back down to the science area. Then everyone's standing there like at attention because Stamets told everyone.
Okay, it was a little sweet movie. Went too long. Went way too long.
And he's like, of course I told everyone. And of course everyone agrees with it. And she's like, well, I haven't even said yes. Say yes. Then everyone has to go down the line. So yeah, say yes.
Why can't just one of them say it? Why can't all of them?
They look like they're going to break out into a dance number.
I know.
Then like she's like, you guys. And then literally like every stupid story that some SJW makes up about them doing some great justice. And then everyone clapped. And literally everyone claps. So Tilly's going to take the job. She's first officer.
I was joking about that in the last episode, me and Crimson, and they literally did it. It's ridiculous.
Just take the job. But before, we have a list of grievances and they're like telling like stupid jokes. Man, I want a room with a view. Isn't the ship, can it just transform and give you a window?
I mean, especially now they've been retrofitted. It's the year 3100. You think they'd have that technology?
If I knew who any of these people were. I finally learned Detmer's name. That's it. I don't know any of the other people.
Oh, yeah. The lady with the,
with the eyeball thingy. So I don't know any other characters. And then Michael Burnham walks in. Well, as first officer, I would like to work on this data. She's like, oh, you got the data, big hugs and everything. And now it's so crazy for her to be giving orders. So she kind of like gives like her first kind of like, okay, everyone get back to work. You know, that kind of like I don't know. It's just it's so stupid.
Can you imagine Captain Picard's first officer being Tilly? No. Or Cisco's? Get out of here with that.
That would be hilarious.
Ridiculous.
So it's super happy fun time for her.
And then she goes, so, but they're talking about Burnham, so are you leaving? And she goes, no. And then she gets a little emotional.
That's the thing. Sacrifice, duty, something bigger than you. Even though she personally has a personal thing to solve this data, it's for the betterment of everyone.
But at this point, I know Tilly gets a little emotional, but Tilly, now you're the first officer, you can't do those things anymore. You got to show a air of professionalism.
You're not going to move my bed, are you? Of course I am.
Yeah, you don't say that in front of them. You're the first officer now.
Here's the thing, you get your own room now.
Yeah, you get your definitely.
Get a room next to mine.
Even lieutenants get their own room.
How come they don't sleep in the hallways like in lower decks?
That's so stupid.
God.
They don't do that. Again, they don't do that. They don't do that.
They do that in submarines. This isn't a fucking submarine, you moron.
This is
the future, you fucking idiot. Come on.
That's so stupid.
Jesus Christ. So we get back to Saru speaking to the president, and he's like, I hope everything that happened today, shows that there's inroads. And then she's like, well, things didn't go as I expected. And she's like, well, that's a compliment. He's like, oh, okay.
I didn't know. He's kind of like, and he goes, I understand with all the problems on your planet and everything going on, you're not going to join the Federation tomorrow. But at least we can have a communication dialogue with each other.
Yeah.
And get that going.
I would like to continue this conversation. Yeah. She's like, then they'll live long.
And she goes, yeah, no, she goes, yeah, we will. And not now, but down the line, I want to continue talking. And then her self-transport, she just transports off.
Yeah, they do the live longer prosper thing.
Yeah.
So then we get back to Book and Michael, and she's looking at she's like uploading the data. He's like, oh, you got it. She's like, yeah. He's like, you're not leaving, are you? She's like, no. She's like, what does that mean for you? He's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what it means.
But just stay at this point.
Can I be an intern or something? Just if we can make an instant first officer, we can make this guy something.
Yeah,
tactical.
And then the fact is, like you said, he could be like a quasi-Neelix. He knows the areas. He knows, maybe not the alpha part, but he knows the other quadrants. He knows all that. So you can at least give him a hands-on on what to expect.
Give him like a commission.
Yeah.
Like a tactical officer or something, because he has his own ship.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
And you can use it. Why not?
So, I guess Buck's going to stay, too.
And I guess there's the Grudge, the cat.
Yeah, living in the cargo bay.
Yeah.
So, that's the end of this episode. That line about Spock, everything he ever accomplishes because Michael Burnham.
And it's so sad because you have the Spock part, and then you have Burnham doing what she did at the end of that trial. It was so amazing, and then you get that.
Just one little line. She's already elevated enough. You don't need to elevate the girl no more.
And again, what is it elevating by stepping on other people? What is that?
Here's the thing. I can walk up the stairs, or I can climb I can step on everyone's head on the way up. Yeah. Why do it? And dig your hill in.
I want to say right now, the problem is instead of Michael Burnham flying to the sky, and I'm going to use the anime reference there, she's Griffin from Berserk. He steps on other people to get to her.
Because you're the chosen one.
Yeah.
So a couple of people have to be trotted upon. Yeah, who cares?
Exactly. And this is a legacy. It's even worse. Because Spock's already long been dead. So you're standing on his legacy. That's terrible. And as a fan, I say that you don't do that. You don't step on. There's certain characters you don't do that to. Spock, Batman, there's certain characters, Superman, you don't do that to.
But they do, though. They do.
I know.
Whatever. So, yeah, I can understand why Trek Bertiz walked away.
Yes.
And I don't blame him. And the thing is, I get like 100 views on my videos. But I do it because I care about Trek. He gets tens of thousands of views.
Oh, yeah.
And he walked away. And that's big time money for him.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't, and it just gets me mad because...
And he was a defender.
I know.
Of this.
First, I know. But I think he just realized he couldn't do it
I think that Spock line, it has to be.
That Spock line even does it. It hurts me a lot. It hurts me to my soul.
And like when I first saw Spock at the beginning of the episode, I cried because it was beautiful. This made me cry because it broke my heart in a bad way.
Yeah, it's really sad. It's pathetic. Why couldn't you say, you know what? He made me the person I am today.
As much as I helped him, he helped me more. Show some fucking humility.
No, of course not. You're right, Mom. Why'd you just say that?
Right on. And then freaking fist bump. Blowed up.
Yeah, she gives her a thumbs up. She's all, oh, God.
So, yeah. So, I guess they're going to get that data and be able to figure this out and figure out where it came from.
Exactly.
And again, I don't necessarily like that because the next time on Discovery, and it's just a bunch of random images. Thought I saw a Klingon. I don't know. Maybe the Klingons have to do with this.
It seemed a little bit more clear, but like last week didn't show us anything. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
I bet you there's a Klingons. Yeah. I bet you Klingons have
something to do with this. And again, Georgia's not in this at all.
Where's the Borg?
I know.
Wouldn't the Borg want to come in and sweep up?
As I said, why isn't it? Just say if it's another alien race, how come they haven't swept up? It's so weird. Unless it's like a Thanos all bounce to everything kind of person.
Yeah.
Oh, I did it, so now everyone could be.
Well, they're stuck in their quadrants now.
Yeah. I mean, is that it? I mean, I don't know. I can't think of anything else.
But we have all the last episodes in January. Fuck.
January 7th. I can't. Mandalorian will be done before that. That happened after this, and that's been so good.
God, my goodness. Sorry, cowboy, you broke me. But yeah, see y'all next weekend.
Yeah, see you later.